Hello YouTube, this is Ardwolf, and here's another episode of Ardwolf Presents. I'm coming to you again from Neverwinter. We've had a number of excellent Neverwinter videos lately, so check those out. Today I am going to bring you something very special. The first thing that I would like you to do is, first of all, press the L key and click on Daily Quests, and if you don't have it already, get the Daily Foundry Content Quest. That's something you should probably pick up every day anyway. It gives you a bunch of goodies. I will show you exactly what. In this case, it doesn't actually tell you what it exactly gives you, but that's not the point. The point is that we're going to do a piece of Foundry content. So you can hit the L key again and go to Catalog. And in this case, I know exactly what we're going to play through. And I have to spell it correctly. I'm so excited about this. Now, I haven't seen this before. We will see how awesome it is. What we are looking for is B2, The Keep on the Borderlands by Grim 11. So we're gonna check this content out. You've accepted a quest. Travel along the eastern road to the Keep on the Borderlands. And we're going to track that quest, actually. There we go. So I think, you know what? I have no idea where this is leading me, actually. Let's find out. For those of you who don't know, the Keep on the Borderlands is an old D&D tabletop module. It is often the first one that D&D players have the experience of playing through. Okay, the Borderlands. So I don't know if other folks, I haven't experimented with the Foundry at all on the creative end, so I don't know how easy it would be to even do this. But I would love to see adaptations of classic D&D modules. As an old-timer that remembers all this stuff, I think that's really neat. As you can also probably see, here is the Keep on the Borderlands. Well, we have a campfire up front here that probably should have been inside in the tavern. Okay. That might still be there. So we will enter the keep. Now, the projected playing time on this bad boy is 39 minutes, so I don't know how accurate that's going to be. I know you can make your... Oh, what do we got going on here? Speak with the captain of the guard. Greetings, adventurer. Welcome to the Keep on the Borderlands. Please be aware that while you are welcome to take advantage of our many amenities, please follow the rules of civility and honor. If you can do so, we will have no problems. Excellent! It is actually quite fortuitous that you have come. The wildlands surrounding the keep have become even wilder in the last months, and we don't have enough soldiers to deal with all the threats. The most tenacious threat we've faced is from the ominous Caves of Chaos, a network of caves and caverns in the distant northeast. This labyrinth is home to all manner of foul creatures. Raids from these enemies have forced us into a defensive stance here in the keep. Whoa, not so fast. If you're the adventurer type who can help us, then glad I am. However, I have a more immediate threat. Bandits have taken up refuge in the woods to the south. Our patrols have seen their campfires, but I have cautioned them against getting too close. We don't know their numbers or their intentions. I will see what they're up to. Alright, so let's do this. What do we got here? I want to poke around here in the keep. At least cursorily here. I do know that with the Foundry content, you have at least some ability to design your own maps. So we need to scout the bandit camp. Means we need to go outside. It looks like it's just outside. As you can see, I'm now level 21. And there was a couple days there where I didn't get a chance to play very much, but I was doing professions and invocation when I could check in, and I ended up getting like a whole level out of it. Here's my bandits. It's pretty tough too, actually. Oh, there's two of them. So we have a couple of packs of bandits here. And I've defeated the bandits. Take a look at the map here. So I don't really understand what the parameters for creating Foundry content are, to be completely honest. So I don't know how close one could come. I'm pretty sure you couldn't do things like random encounters. But you could set wilderness encounters up so that they felt like random encounters. If you were feeling super ambitious, you could even roll them randomly using the original module. So I saw this, actually somebody posted on Google Plus that this was available, and I'm like, oh, I gotta try that immediately. So here I am. What's this thing? That probably is how I leave. Nice job on the keep itself. It's actually pretty reminiscent of the actual original keep on the Borderlands. Possibly we didn't need this enormous fountain in the middle, but... Okay, so we now need to speak with the Castellan. Okay. Okay. So we will help however we can. Caves of Chaos will be dealt with. So now we must travel to the Caves of Chaos. And interestingly, let's talk to some random people here, because the original module did some interesting things. Huh. Yeah, this does too. If you talk to these people, they will give you pieces of information. It looks like I see how the designer did this. In the original module, there's a list of a random table of rumors that you can pick up, and it looks like all these random people you can talk to here in the keep itself will serve as a mouthpiece to those rumors. That's actually really kind of a nice way to handle it. Let's get on the road, I guess. So I haven't played a ton of Foundry content, but I've played some. I think this is my third piece of Foundry content, and I've been reasonably happy with everything that I've done. And this stuff's just going to get better as Cryptic makes the Foundry more, hopefully more usable and more powerful. And as users who are interested in creating their content begin to master it. And there's already quite a lot of stuff available. You know what? There's somebody over here. Mad Hermit, who lives in a tree. Oh, he attacks me. mountain lion's pretty tough. So the treasure is also something that Foundry designers don't have the ability to set for themselves. So that they actually did, they, meaning the person who designed this thing, did actually set this up so that there's like additional encounters within the context of the journey to, at least if you go off the beaten path. This makes me want to play with the the Foundry, see if I can maybe put something like the Isle of Dread together or something like that. That would kind of be a project. Let's see. Oh, so here's the caves. Wait a minute. How does this work? Okay, that's interesting. This is actually a big blank wall. Alright, so that could have been more awesome. So we should face in this one. Let's gain entry through the Shrine of Evil Chaos. So these all appear to be individually This is, let's look at the map. Looks like this won't be given a good quality map. I'll have to kill him. Oh, this is actually pretty sweet. Because I woke the guard up, that brought additional attention to myself. That's actually kind of cool. Of course, I just walked past it with no trouble too. That's kind of an issue, but still, that's kind of cool. It looks like there's been some relatively clever design work done here. Now, it seems to me that the immediate... Look at this. Actually didn't mean to fire that right there. Oh well. And I found myself having a large surplus of healing potions at this point. What's down here? These look young. No. So my recollection of this is pretty old, actually. This isn't a module I actually own anymore, which is too bad, but nor is it something I've looked at recently. So far, they're doing a nice job making this, making the mobs tough. And these mobs are pretty tough. And one thing I haven't seen are any nodes. I don't know if that's possible to place in Foundry or not. Now here we have the key. Although I think the last one I had a few, so I don't know if those are random or if you can place them as a designer or what. These rune stones are something that, and enchantment in general, might be the subject of a quick video at one point. Because if you think of them as gems from World of Warcraft, you won't be completely off base. You basically slot into relevant items. Now, one thing that you don't have here is a glowing trail telling you exactly where to go. So it is going to be possible, if not easy, to get lost in these caves. The assumption from the original module, of course, is that you would actually be tracking where you were by drawing a map as you went. Because it looks to me like there's a lot of stuff here that looks like we may have not gotten. Let's go. Might as well go back to the campsite in the module. In particular, there's a lot of different caves that it looks like this adaptation did not include. But to be honest, if it didn't include them, this thing would probably be like a 6-hour affair. And I'm not sure if you can even do that in the context of the Foundry missions. It'd be cool if you could. And actually, since Neverwinter is set in the Forgotten Realms anyway, wouldn't it be cool if you could delve into the ruins of Undermountain? Man, these are some tough guards. There's the Kobold Cave, actually. There's a lockbox. Now I haven't unlocked any of those. You basically have to pay to unlock them. And I've got a big pile of them, and I might actually at some point. Here's the Kobold, the immature Kobold room. There's no better use for that than this right here. There's a lot of kobolds for no treasure. One of the things that needs to happen pretty soon here is I'm actually eligible for a 4th encounter ability, and I should probably take advantage of that. Another skeleton key. So actually, let's look at those. There's a silver skeleton key, and another silver skeleton key. So I'm guessing the structure here is that you can actually go through any of these to get the key that will take you into the final cave. Now the original module, there's some traps and such here too. I'm seeing that these Neverwinter spiders are typically fairly tough. Not these so much. The ones I fought before have been. Okay, now maybe I missed something here, but Cobalt caves are not as complex as you would find in the original module. The York Cave may have been. Maybe that the York Cave was the first thing that they did, and so this is going to be the evil tumble down here. So I think the idea, at least as far as I'm concerned, with how I'm going to approach this, is to clear-ish all these other caves. But these aren't orcs, actually, they're gnolls. These guys are significantly less tough, actually, than the orcs. Oh, and here's the back way in. You know, that guy was standing right here. He didn't go and help his buddies out. So, actually, these are the first gnolls I've seen in Neverwinter. And they're pretty cool. Cave suddenly changes from a rough-hewn construction to finely crafted workmanship, perhaps by dwarves of old. There is a very large gnoll, so the gnoll chieftain right here. This guy may well be a boss-level dude. Nice. It keeps making more guys. That was a pretty tough encounter. That is that I burned more health potions on that encounter than I burned in the entire last dungeon. Last official dungeon, as it were. Which is the one that about wraps you up at around level 20. So we have 3 of these silver skeleton keys at this point. And I noticed a little side passage here before. Oh, the cells. Oh, that's cool. Fortunately, there's nobody in the cells. There's nothing in the description of this dungeon, this Foundry piece of content to indicate that it's not finished. But it feels a little bit unfinished to me. That said, it's pretty cool. It's definitely got the old D&D vibe going on, and I think that's worth something. It's one of the reasons that I'm playing and enjoying Neverwinter as much as I am. It's because it does have a little bit of old school D&D vibe that MMORPGs tend to not have. DDO has some in places as well, though. We'll say that. Okay, so we may have one more cave on the right. Looks like we don't. So we're going to go back up to the top. This may not be necessary, but I'm going to do it this way anyway, because the way it worked in the original module is that the content got tougher and tougher as you progressed farther down the valley. So we've now cleared the entire right-hand side, so we're going to go heal at the campfire. And as you can see, I'm not especially short of healing potions. What is this? This is a regeneration potion. I don't need that. So we'll do quick heal here. Then we're going to throw down this alacrity thing, just because I want to use these. I don't want to throw them away, and I don't want to sit on them, so I'll use them. And then we'll hit this cave. I haven't seen goblins yet. And the original caves are kind of a paint-by-number sort of thing, in a sense. It was a very sandboxy type of thing, where you had a wilderness area to explore, and you had random encounters in that wilderness area. And then there was a series of caves in this valley, and each of the caves were kind of thematic. I mean, you have, well, here's the Goblin Caves, here's the Kobold Caves, here's the Orc Caves, here's the Undead Caves, and that was toward the end. And there's some ogres in there and some other stuff. So here's my goblins, in fact. I would love to go in now. This makes me want to go in and experiment with the Foundry myself, just to see, what I can do as far as building maps goes, and can you do something like Ravenloft, for example, or Dwellers in the Forbidden City? Because if you could, that would be sweet. Entirely too much time on my back here. And there it does, it happens again. Yeah, it's not what I meant to do. Oh great, a patrol! So you definitely have D&D 4th Edition style encounters here, though. Did I just lose my henchman? No. In fact, he's looking extremely healthy, in fact. Another one of those silver skeleton keys. So here's some wandering encounters. That's cute. Yeah, I don't actually say that to be dismissive either. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not surprised that's possible, or that it's in here, because it's certainly the kind of thing we've seen in other MMOs before. But I'm glad they managed to thoughtfully recreate that type of experience here in the context of this piece of Foundry content. Sharpshooter direction. Well, the last one was tough. I think. I could be wrong. Yeah, there's definitely fewer caves here than there were in the classic module. And actually kind of a lot fewer, but that's also possibly not surprising. Again, I don't know what any of the limitations in map size or any of that happen to be for Foundry content, so... There could be more dressing in these caves too, I think. Again, not sure, how much it's possible to do. But we've seen at least a little bit. So, hopefully one of the things that Cryptic is planning on doing is introducing more and more assets into the Foundry, and therefore increase the capabilities of players making content with it. That is certainly something I hope they have planned. And how I imagine it works, actually, is that new content in general... Ooh, there's an ogre. New content in general that creates new assets also just drops that content, those assets right into the Foundry, so I would think that's the logical way to set it up. So ogres are pretty tough to the point where when you kill your first one, there's actually an achievement for it. There's another skeleton key. And I think this is the last cave before the last cave. So... it looks like it, yeah. There's definitely a compression here of content from the original module, but the feel of it in the space of something you might expect to do in half an hour is pretty good. It's pretty dead on. Let's make sure I've got healing potions ready to go here. This will be the Shrine of Evil Chaos. So you actually did need all those keys. They weren't marked that way. Okay, this is interesting, because this is its own separate instance. Now, actually, it might have made sense to have each of the caves be their own... I want to back out, actually, because there's something off to... Alright, so I guess we're gonna continue. I don't trust that thing. Here's some undead. So I generally speaking, I continue to be happy with Neverwinter overall. There's something going on here somewhere. So these little glowy bits, what they are basically serving as is the DM narration from DDO. What's going to happen? Oh, crap. Well, fortunately, I've got my daily available. And let's just blow that. So what we just did was, which I should have seen coming, was release the undead in the next room. Except for this one trapped in a corner. Very nice sound design in Neverwinter, generally speaking. It just reminded because that was a cool sound effect. Here. So we have, apparently in an attempt to simulate torture, we have this guy attacking a dude in a cage. There's quite a bit of loot in here, I'll tell you that. There should be for as tough as the mobs are. It's the first piece of dark enchantment that I've seen. Okay, that's nice. Let's get out of here. Looks like we might have some goodies here. Okay. It looks like it's just color text. But that's okay. So here's some stuff we should probably take care of, huh? A summoning is in progress. So here's our ritual chamber. She managed to get out of there in time, which is a novelty. There we go. Heal down. Because I don't even want to deal with that. There's a shadow demon. That's cool. That's something I haven't seen in Neverwinter yet, are shadow demons. Of course, those of us who remember a certain piece of deep licensed D&D stuff from the old days will have a fond place in our hearts for shadow demons. He's the High Priest. He appears to be immune to my crowd control. So we've just killed the High Priest. I'm wondering if maybe we haven't broken this somehow. What's that? Maybe that wasn't the High Priest. That wasn't the High Priest, actually. Alright, no problem. We'll take care of him too. That was just a random priest. Part of the charm of these old D&D... Oh, fantastic. Part of the charm... Oh, whites! Awesome! Part of the charm of these old D&D modules is actually how random they were. In many cases, a module like Keep on the Borderlands, for example, would actually contain relatively little programmed, what we think of today as programmed content. They would instead contain like a wilderness map and a set of tables for constructing wilderness encounters, so that you would end up, wandering around from place to place and randomly generating encounters as you went, and kind of developing the story in what we might think of now in a very emergent way. And that is not the kind of thing that because an individual game master can. Who is running the game. Let's check our inventory. See, got a lot of junk going on here. An individual game master can flesh out those random encounters to make them mean something. This is not something that an MMORPG can do, so MMORPGs have focused instead on the idea that content is supposed to be linear, that it is supposed to have a defined middle, beginning, and end, and it... Was there a door here that I did not see? No, but look at that. Look at that. Here's our High Priest. So I mean, that's just the way MMO content works, as opposed to, and certainly that's a viable way for people to have created tabletop RPG content too for a long time. But there was also another path that, much like it has with MMOs, got ignored for a long time. I think I'm on my back again. Now my daily's burned, and I would really like it back at this point. The bar's filling up for the so to use at the moment. Now that all the mobs are dead. Oh, my henchman is down. But I've got this guy. Kill these zombies, though. They keep knocking me down, preventing me from using, that takes care of that. Here's a chest. Taking an unidentified item. And look at that. Yeah, we're gonna rate this guy. I think this could have been better, but I think I really liked it. You can rate these things at the end, so I'm going to write a little review. This, of course, does take my Foundry quest, which I will not have to go back to Protector's Enclave and turn in, and it gave me quite a large chunk of XP as well. So this is a piece of Foundry content called the Keep on the Borderlands, named after the old classic D&D module, which it does definitely resemble and was inspired by Grim 11. So check this out next time you're in Neverwinter, and thanks for watching. Down in the notes below, you'll find a link to my website at ardwolfslayer.wordpress.com and links to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. So do all those things, subscribe to the channel. More Neverwinter content is a-coming, and other stuff too. So check those out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.